Let me go on LinkedIn Live. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we are ready to go. So just setting up LinkedIn Live right this minute, and we'll be live there. Okay, welcome everyone to What's the Buzz? It's my monthly chat series. We have the second Tuesday of every month at 4 p.m., 20 minutes, roughly 20 minutes or so. And we're excited this week I have Cheryl Simmons, Vice President of Implementation Specialist, joining me to talk about wsTOOLS and how you can transform your Dynamics GP business processes. So very excited to have you on here, Cheryl. I know we're starting a few minutes late, so I don't want to waste any time, but this is getting recorded. So yes, I'll be sending out the recording for those of you who registered and can't attend or have to leave early or whatever it may be, because we all have lots of things going on. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Cheryl to take it away.
Are you going to talk a little bit about Summit, Amy?
Oh, yes. I'll talk at the end. We'll wait until you're all done.
Okay. All right. We'll catch it at the end. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for having us. Great. I'm very excited to be here and talk about wsTOOLS and Implementation Specialist. And for those that don't know us, Implementation Specialist, we are a partner, Microsoft partner, who sells, support, consults, as well as does customs for Dynamics GP and Business Central. And so we've been a partner since 2005, and so lots of experience in this arena. But about 10 years ago, we started a line of tools called wsTOOLS. And we found that as we were working with customers, doing different implementations, getting them installed up and going, some of those same pain points kept coming up over and over. And we're like, okay, these type of things that we're making for people as customs, we should really just bundle them as a tool, because we're hearing the same kind of requests over and over. And so that is where wsTOOLS comes from. Work smarter tools and making your processes easier and better for your customers and your end users ultimately as well. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And I know Amy talked about, we got 20 minutes and I just told Amy we were just on a demo. We were doing 2 tools in an hour and we barely got through it. So we are not going to dive deep into any of the tools today. But what I want to do is just kind of highlight, these are the tools that we have, and we have all the information about them out on our website, where you can come out, take a look at videos of the tools. We'll certainly demo any of the tools for you as well. But again, we'll focus on GP today, but if you have ideas or concern areas that you have on the Business Central side as well, I would love to hear those, because we are working on getting our first tools for Business Central out into the App Store as well. So great time to present for you guys, because again, I would love that feedback as well. So let's get started. And let's see, make sure that did I move to wsTOOLS for finance?
You did.
Yay, that's a good sign. All right. We'll hit just kind of the 4 different areas here. We'll start out with finance, or more of those general tools. And again, I won't hit on all of those, but you can see there's lots of different ones here in the different areas. One of the tools that I'll be honest, we were over at the panels for Cavallo, and Inventory Round was a hot one there, where customers were coming up to us and asking, okay, what does Inventory Round mean? And so here's the example, where if you are doing a receiving, let's say, and it's a quantity of 3 for a cost of $100, well, as you guys know, you can't divide that out equally. And so what it's doing in your GP system, right, is it's making a layer for a quantity of 2 of $33.33, and then a quantity of 1 for $33.34. And a penny isn't such a big deal, but if you're dealing in larger numbers, right, all of that could start to add up, because your different layers are different different costing. And so what we can do with the Inventory Round is we actually will put in your inventory a quantity of 3 for the cost of $99.99. And then you put in what GL account you want that additional transaction to go to. And so that penny in this case would post to general ledger, let's say to your COGS account, and then you're keeping your inventory layers all sequential, so that you don't have that increase and decrease happening. And again, in my example, very simple, but if you think of the larger dollar values that you might be experiencing, Inventory Round is definitely a key feature for you to look at. Also to drawer, and each one of these products is sold separately. So it's kind of an a la carte. You can pick whichever products you want to use. Or if you decide to get, 5 of them or whatever, we can also do a bundle pricing for you as well. So each one comes separately though, just kind of keep that in mind. Next one on the finance side here is drawer. And this product originally started out being called HR drawer. So it was specifically to employees, and it has to do with your document attachments. So if you think about GP document attachments, everybody can see all the document attachments that are attached, let's say, to an employee. Well, that didn't work so well if you want to put, HR confidential documents in there, if you want to put employment records in there. So what we do for drawer is we create 10 different folders under each of the employees. There are different colors, and you can pick security by color and decide who gets access to each one. So maybe your managers get access to personnel records and performance records, or maybe it's just your HR people who are seeing specifically about certifications or benefits and that type of information. So it gives you the capability to slice and dice the data that you're seeing in your document attachment. So pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah, I like that. As well as we have several customers who like that. And I mentioned employee, but you also have the same capability on customer, vendors, and inventory items. So if you wanted to, put in your, I-9 forms, any of those type of things, you can scan those in and store them on, your customers, employees, etc. So very cool, fun things to see there. And again, I would love to touch on all of them, but in interest of time, Amy, I'll keep going. Payroll HR is an area where we have lots and lots of users and lots of tools. And so you can see there's quite a list here. So again, I'll just hit on a few of these. The bottom one left, 941 detailed tool. So for those of you that print out your 941 report every quarter and you're like, yep, I think these numbers are right. We actually have a tool that will tell you, here's where all the detail comes for, and you can do it by employee or you can do it your all employees, but you can see all the detail. Especially if they have unique situations going on. And again, that's a tool you can purchase separately or into a bundle if you want to go that route. Other one that I love, I'll be honest, is the other one on the right side, the Pay Import Plus. So this particular tool allows customer to do pay rate increases very quickly, because we have customers who have to do increases like within a week. So they're doing payroll every week and they only get a week to get in all those pay rate changes. And so Pay Import Plus allows you to export your data out based on what you have in your payroll system now on your pay codes. And you can export it out and have, all your different departments go to different tabs or any slice and dice that you want to. Give it to your different departments and then they can do their updates. And it's in Excel, right? So they can just, even if it's a 5% raise across the board, they can highlight the column and do that. Or they can, manually type in the numbers that they want to change them to. And then with this Import Plus tool, you can go ahead and import every one of those tabs, brings it in and it validates. And if, let's say you have hourly pay rates, and of course you have vacation, sick time, everything dependent on that hourly pay rate, the tool will actually have those pay records updated for you. So you wouldn't even have to export all those out. You could just do the hourly pay rate that it's dependent on, change that rate, and it'll roll it down to your overtime, double time, your holiday, your sick, update all of those pay records for you. So pretty slick tool and fast, right? Because again, if you're under that timeline of you have to get those pay rates in and get them adjusted for, payroll every week, not a lot of time to do some of those things.
Definitely not.
No. So yeah, want to keep you moving there. The other one that I know you guys have probably heard a lot about too is, if you're in doing your payroll and something goes wrong, they're from Microsoft, they gave you the KB article of, okay, these are all the steps you need to do to reset your payroll so you can start over. Well, we basically with payroll reset gave you an easy button to do it. We've taken all of those steps that are in those KB articles and combined them into a tool where you can just say, reset me. And you don't have to be able to run SQL. You don't have to get out of GP to run the SQL queries and do some fixing on your tables on the back end. This does it for you, and you don't need that access per se, or you don't need your IT person to help you out. The reset button will reset everything, bring your batches back, and so you can start the process over. And again, lots of handy tools if you do 1095s here at year end, where you can import if you're getting data in from your benefit provider, get that in so you can print out those reports from GP as well. Lots of things there. So again, like we could talk several minutes on all of these, but I won't in interest of time. But again, I think if you have payroll, definitely check out our payroll HR tools that are available. So let's get into the next section, into that sales section. Couple different ones I'll highlight here. Let's talk quick collect, because I don't know about you guys, but I hate collection calls and having to call
I don't know who does.
Yeah, exactly. Who likes that, right? And even if it's just more that gentle reminder of, okay, your invoice is 30 days past due now, and usually they pay on time, but they haven't been, right? So quick collect allows you to set up an automated system where it'll send out an email to the customers that are set up based on your parameters. Like, let's say 30 days past due, you're sending them a gentle reminder email that, hey, dear customer, you have this particular invoice that you haven't paid yet. And it just, you don't have to call them, right? It's just an email that goes out. And then you can, based on your setup, say how often you want those emails to go up. Like, do you want to do them every 30 days, every week? We had a customer jokingly say they wanted to send them out every day. We're convinced them not to, but that's a little too much. But again, just kind of those gentle reminders, and you can customize our template that we give you to, say what data you want on there, what you want listing, who they should contact if there's questions, any of those type of things. So user definable, but again, just makes it quick and easy, and it's automatically sent for you. The other one I'll highlight on the sales side here is SOP Auto Charge. And we have an auto charge product for our Winsoft products as well. But this one is specific to Great Plains, and it allows you to set up rules that you're saying, okay, when I use this item or this customer, let's say, I want it to have an extra charge on it. And so what you're doing with those rules then is setting them up, saving them. And then when you go through and do your SOP invoice, you just choose apply rules, and it goes out and looks at your rules engine to see if you have anything that needs to apply to this invoice. And if you do, it'll add that extra charge. And so it might be a charge for a fuel tax or different things that you want to be charging to your customer, or credit card processing fees. I'm seeing those. That's kind of a popular one that's coming up lately, right? Adding a new line item onto your invoice for those type of things. As well as you could do discounts. So you could do the opposite way as well, as if you wanted to have a 10% discount if somebody did, their furnace cleaning early or whatever it might be. You can have it apply positive and negative line items automatically for you, and then recalculate your totals. So kind of fun to see that as well. And on the purchasing side, we have a couple here I'll talk about. The POVendorChange, and this came up a lot during COVID, where people were entering in purchase orders, reaching out to the vendor, and they said, I'm sorry, I can't deliver that for you. So then you wanted to go elsewhere and get a different vendor, right, for those same items that you're looking for. And this allowed you to, as long as you haven't received the purchase order, you can go in and choose to change the vendor. Put in the new vendor ID, recommit the purchase order, and you're off and running without having to do a copy and paste, any of those type of things. So quick and easy. And again, you can do that on the purchase order or on a payables transaction that's not posted as well. Change the vendor and have it update your distributions accordingly. And the last one here talks about mass PO close. And this is one that is still in development and is going to be coming out here shortly, going through testing. It allows you to pick and choose filters, whether it's on vendor, on your date, the status of the line, pick and choose that data, click display, and it'll bring in all the line items that meet the criteria that you've entered. And then from there, you can see, quantity ordered, quantity received, any quantity returned. And then you can choose, as long as it meets the criteria, go ahead and choose to close them, a whole range, or you could do everything in the window with a one big selection, and it'll automatically close all the lines. And if all your lines on a PO are closed, it'll close the PO header as well. And what we find is a lot of people kind of forget about this. I mean, we just had a customer come and ask us to close everything prior to 2021, right? And it's like, okay, that's a few years ago, but they had 8,000 POs out there.
Wow.
that need some cleanup, right? So I know this one, not everybody's alone when it comes to cleaning up POs, right? Everybody's got a few extra hanging out there. This one also works if you have the WinSoft service and job costs loaded as well, because you could specifically put in service call or job number, and it would go out and see any purchase orders related to them as well. So lots of flexibility on the GP side, as well as if you use WinSoft. So speaking of WinSoft, we have tons of products that are on top of the WinSoft product as well. So we have all the ones that were on the GP product, and then we have about another 30 some as well on the WinSoft tools. And again, we're not going to cover all of these, Amy, don't worry. He's like, and we're almost out of time. But I did want to just throw, so we do have a conference coming up here in Fargo. For those of you that wanted to hang out in Fargo for our GPUC conference, and definitely check that out. That's our website there, iscorp.biz/GPUC. All of our tools are out on the ISCorp website as well. And I know we're coming to an end, and Amy wants to do a couple of recaps. So you can reach to us at sales@iscorp.biz. This is Cheryl, and I would certainly love to answer any questions if you have them. So drop me a note.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I know you guys have a lot of tools to cover. I feel like you could have a whole day of just learning all about all the tools you have for GP. It'd be kind of exciting.
Yes, definitely. Well, don't forget to talk about Summit.
Yes. So everyone will all be at Community Summit. I know implementation specialists will be there they'll have a booth, right, Cheryl? What's your booth number?
Yep, 1413. Yes.
1413. And then, of course, I will be there too. And we are actually bringing What's the Buzz to Summit. So I'm very excited to be able to go to, I think I have about 25-ish ISVs that will be participating. If end up more being there while I'm there, great. But what I'll be doing is going to everybody's booth that signed up and doing a quick What's the Buzz 30-second video that I will share on LinkedIn about what they're doing, what's buzzworthy information that they want to share with you, and just have like a buzz storm at Community Summit. So if you are going to Community Summit, great. We hope you stop by all the sponsors booths. They spend a lot of time and energy to be there. If you're not going to be at Community Summit, no worries, because those What's the Buzz videos will be on LinkedIn. We'll do #Community Summit, #What's the Buzz. So you can also stay up to date with all the ISVs and what they're doing and what's new in the GP, BC, F&O space, and everything going on at Community Summit. So I hope you join us for the Buzz Storm, and we'd love to see you there if you're going to be there as well. So yeah, very exciting. So thank you, Cheryl, for joining me for the October What's the Buzz. I'm so excited we get to bring this next week to Summit, and you get to come on here again in LinkedIn Live fashion and do a quick video recap of maybe your new tool, Mass PO Close.
I would love it. Yeah. Thanks for having us, Amy. Appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And again, the recording will be available soon when I email it. And if you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to us anytime as well. But thank you so much for joining us this month. Have a great week.
Thank you. Thanks, Cheryl. Nice job.
Bye, guys.